Hi, this is Mrs. Mlot, pre-K teacher at Haskin. I'll be reading chapter 5 and 6 from Bat and the Waiting Game. Chapter 5, Almost Late. On Monday, Bat waited outside of the school for Israel to arrive. Mom waited with him. "You know," she said, "you could just ask him in class." "Someone else might ask him first," Bat said. "The chances of one of your classmates asking Israel to be partners for the class project between the parking lot and the classroom door are relatively low," Mom said. "Low isn't zero," Bat answered. Mom couldn't argue with this. They waited together, standing in front of the main entrance to the saw-wet school as the sea of arriving students and teachers parted around them. Bat counted 6 kids from his class: Jenny, Luca, Raymond, May, Henry, and Starla, but none of them was Israel. "Let's play a waiting game," Mom suggested. Waiting was one of the things that was very, very hard for Bat. Sometimes playing a game made time pass more quickly, but Bat was too excited about his good idea to play a game. He wanted to focus all his energy on waiting for Israel to arrive. He rubbed his thumb across the rough lump of clay skunk in his pocket. Mr. Grayson pulled up in his dusty orange coupe and unfolded himself from its front seat. "Hey, Bat," he said, "are you waiting for me?" "No," said Bat. Mr. Grayson smiled as if Bat had said something funny. "Hi, Dr. Tam," he said to Bat's mom. "Good morning, Mr. Grayson," she answered, and she put her hand on Bat's shoulder and gave him a little squeeze. "Good morning, Grayson," Bat said, remembering to be polite, but he was craning his neck to see around his teacher, who was blocking his view of the parking lot entrance. Mr. Grayson's puffy orange vest looked like a traffic sign. "Well," said Mr. Grayson, "I'll see you inside." He smiled again and then finally went into the building. At last, Israel's dad's truck pulled into the parking lot. Israel's dad had the tallest, cleanest, shiniest truck Bat had ever seen in real life. Even the hubcaps shined. Israel's dad waved at Bat and his mom as Israel hopped out of the passenger seat. "Hey, Bat," said Israel. He slammed the door and his dad drove away, the loud rumble of his truck fading. "Do you want to be my partner for the spring project and research growing a skunk garden for Thor?" Bat didn't mean to yell right in Israel's face, but he had waited so long that the words practically burst out from him. "Sure, that sounds fun," Israel grinned. "Okay," said Bat. Then he turned to Mom. "Tell Lawrence that Thor drank a bottle and a half for breakfast," he said. Lawrence helped take care of the skunk kit during the day when Bat was at school. "I will," Mom said, and she bent down to give Bat a hug. "You boys have a great day." Bat followed Israel through the school's front door. The hallway was almost empty because class was about to start. There were just a few kids and Miss Kiko standing outside kindergarten. Holding the copper bell, she rang each morning to announce the start of school. "Thanks for waiting for me," Israel said. "We were running late because Dad couldn't find the keys to his truck. He usually leaves them in a little dish by the front door." "But we'll have to research what kinds of plants skunks like to eat," Bat interrupted. "Skunks are omnivores, which means they eat plants and animals, but I don't really know what kind of plants taste best to a skunk." "Bat," Israel said, "I was telling you about why we were late." "You weren't late," Bat said. "You were almost late." And then he went into Mr. Grayson's class before Miss Kiko rang the bell, and they really would be late. Chapter 6, Carrot Division. There wasn't any time to visit baby cakes before class began. Usually the first thing Bat did when he entered Mr. Grayson's classroom was head straight to the back to check on the class pet. Baby Cakes, a fluffy Angora puffball of a bunny, usually didn't respond to Bat's gentle cooing. She'd just sit atop her plastic hutch inside her pen and look stoically adorable. But today Bat had brought a carrot from home to feed to Baby Cakes, and she would always hop over for a carrot. If he hadn't been waiting outside of school for Israel to arrive, Bat would have had plenty of time to give the carrot to Baby Cakes. As it was, he would have to wait till recess. Bat sighed as he slid into his chair, hanging his backpack over the back of his seat. The carrot, zipped in his backpack, seemed almost to vibrate with its desire to be fed to Baby Cakes. Mr. Grayson was standing at the front of the room, talking about something. But he saw that Bat was moving his mouth and was having a very hard time concentrating on his words. Something about math. All around, Bat reached into their backpacks to pull out their folders, and so did Bat. There was a carrot wrapped in a cloth napkin that was printed with little carrots and radishes and turnips. Bat retrieved his folder, but he grabbed the napkin-wrapped carrot too. Mr. Grayson's back was to the class. He was writing math problems on whiteboard with his favorite orange marker. It would only take a minute to walk to the back of the class and feed the carrot to Baby Cakes. Maybe Mr. Grayson wouldn't even turn back around until Bet had gone to Baby Cakes' enclosure, fed her the carrot, and returned to his seat. And after all, Bet reasoned, Mr. Grayson had said that the class had an open-door Baby Cakes policy, meaning that any time a kid needed a cuddle, he or she could go visit Baby Cakes with no permission needed, no questions asked. Bet didn't actually need to cuddle, but he had an itchy feeling that Baby Cakes needed the carrot, and he knew that itchy feeling wouldn't go away until he did something about it. So he unwrapped the carrot and pushed back his chair as quietly as he could. He tiptoed to the back of the class, ignoring the stares from Jenny and Luca, and reached into the pen to feed the carrot to Baby Cakes. Her twitchy nose twitched at the carrot, and Baby Cakes jumped down from her perch atop the plastic hutch and hopped over to Bat. Silently, Bat held the carrot as Baby Cakes nibbled on it. She took little bites and chewed them quickly, her white face vibrating with joy. Bat, said Mr. Grayson's voice from just behind Bat's left shoulder. Bat jumped, startled, and his quick movement scared Baby Cakes, who darted into her hutch, just her fluffy tail sticking out. You made me scare Baby Cakes, Bat said. She'll recover, Mr. Grayson said. Do you think you could save the rest of her carrot until break? We're starting math time. I need to make sure Baby Cakes isn't upset, Bat said. You can't just startle someone and not apologize. It occurred to Bet that maybe Mr. Grayson owed him an apology for the same reason, but Mr. Grayson didn't offer one. Okay, Bat, Mr. Grayson said, but he didn't leave. He stood there waiting for Bat to go back to his seat. Bat sighed. Sorry, Baby Cakes, he said in his gentlest voice. Then he broke the carrot into 3 smaller pieces and set the small pieces softly down inside the bunny's enclosure before he went back to his seat, dividing one carrot into 3 parts. That, Bat thought, should count as math for the day.